Well, the happy note is it's 9 months till Christmas. So we'll be Christmas, that's it. Today is a celebration. That's why it's 9 months from December 25th. So if ever you're ready, if you love Christmas, it's soon to come, right? We just got to get through the terrible summer and the heat and all that. But once that's all over, then we can get back to the winter again next year. All right. Anyway, so this morning, at my chapel, when I pray everybody to get ready for Mass and all that, I have the Living with Christ book. That's one of the things I like to use to look at the readings and to prepare for the homily. And there is this wonderful phrase that caught my attention for those who have the Living with Christ book. It's at the beginning when it explains the feast day today of the Annunciation. And it says that it was in the Living with Christ, if you have a copy of it, it's in the beginning, way at the beginning. It says, this is a wondrous event that binds God and humanity forever. It just caught my eye. And, been doing the Annunciation for 30 years, right, as a priest preaching on the Annunciation. But that, I just, for some reason, that caught my attention. I thought that was beautiful, actually. That this wondrous event, today, what do we celebrate? When God bound himself forever with humanity. It made me think, I didn't see it that way, that the commitment, to humankind, to humanity that God did in becoming human with Jesus. It made me think of a marriage. When one of the things the idea that people bind themselves together in marriage, and when they have children, one of the things it does is it ties them together forever, right? Even if they get divorced, even if they separate, get divorced, they know that what binds them together forever is the fact that they have the children, so they have their children's parents and mother, the other parent. Even if they all get married and have a second family, whatever, they know that's what binds them together. Now, of course, humanity can disown and they can ignore and run away from all these commitments, and that's fine. But normally we know that's what children do, right? They bind two people together forever, because even if we hear relationships where it's like, well, what is your mother doing for Christmas? You have to, a husband the father might ask that, or which family are you going to go to? But now that you're tied together, and it's really the reality of that, and binds them forever as a people. Today, the Annunciation, God coming to us, is binds humanity with himself, right, with the human race. And I think I love this. In other words, he's now committed to us, because he himself sent his son to redeem us, and then therefore we are now committed in a real way. He is committed to us. And I think that gave me a lot of hope, because it means he invested in us, right? He knew that we had strayed, came in and said, you know what, I gotta connect myself again with them again. And he went, and I think one of the things that made me also do that reflection was that it makes me kind of love him more, so to speak, love God more, that he did this and came into our messiness. And I'll tell you why, because, he didn't just tell us, but he came down and he showed us, and he helped us. And the idea was he's going to help us along the way. And that's where my thoughts went, to get through all of this. And the image to me was like a parent who, wouldn't just tell the child what to do, but would actually do it for him, reach down, help him, help her, pick up the stuff, we'll pick it up together, we'll get through this together. And I think that, or the other thing is, you see, the parent who went into the sandbox and played with the child, showed her how to make a castle. Let's do this together, And I had that, I got into the mud, to make the mud pies, and then just tell him to do it. It got his hands dirty as well. God did by becoming one of us, having to deal with temptation, having to deal with the things that we deal with, and then said, I'm going to come down there and help you out, let's do it together. And I guess that was an interesting way to take a look at today's feast day of the Annunciation, because it started it all and bound us. So as we continue the celebration, hopefully on a feast day usually like this, The challenge is just to be grateful. It's a celebration. It is a solemnity in the church. You're going to do the creed even, just like a Sunday. So hopefully it's a special day for you as well. It takes us out of our little Lenten experience and say, today we celebrate the Annunciation, when God entered into humanity and bound himself with us, and then said, now let me help you get through this.